And welcome back to the Therapy Daddy podcast.
Welcome back.
We have a special guest.
To the Therapy Daddy podcast.
Listen, that worked beautifully. That was a perfect segue. Brand designer. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name? Where you from? What you do? Give us a little bit of the scoop.
Okay, my name is Ariana Rose.
Welcome, Mary. Welcome.
I am a brand designer and strategist.
Okay.
So a brand strategist.
Okay.
So I design or redesign your brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I
I
like
help
that.
you get more sales and scale.
Okay.
So lots of brand awareness.
All right.
I own Ari Rose Designs. So I work
What is it called?
Ari Rose Designs.
Okay, one thing about here, we're gonna make you repeat yourself. So we like, say it again, like, cause we just gotta give emphasis.
Is there a website that goes with that? Is
AriRoseDesigns.com.
AriRoseDesigns.com.
Yes.
And Instagram, I assume.
No, I am a hidden. I'm a hidden gem.
Okay.
You can't find me. It's website only. One path.
Okay.
Or LinkedIn.
You gotta have LinkedIn because that's very professional.
LinkedIn.
Before we get into, I was talking to her before we start episode. I was like, "Are you an influencer?" She said, "No, but on LinkedIn, she's big deal on LinkedIn."
How many followers you got on LinkedIn?
Like 18,000,
Okay.
19,000.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You in the thousands. Though.
that's like borderline like Z level celebrity.
Hey.
You know?
Maybe. Yeah, I took a course. I'm really nerdy. I set the goal last December. I was like, I want to crack the LinkedIn code. And I had like 3,000 to start. And within like 2 months, I got 18,000.
There you go.
Is it about you like putting out content or like how did you?
It's all about following the algorithm's code. So,
okay.
they have like little cheat codes of how many words per sentence, writing for mobile first, always including a photo, making sure your hook is really good. And I'm a really good writer. So I felt like it was really, really easy actually.
Okay. Period.
Okay,
Thank you for joining us.
Show.
Appreciate
Of course.
that.
I'm happy to be here.
And this is our year-end episode. We are ending. We're concluding le final de l'année. Voilà, on est là pour enregistrer l'épisode. C'est le dernier épisode de l'année. Puis on va en 2017. Pardon, 2010. Non. 2026. 2026.
I
almost forgot my French for a second. No. He says that.
He's a multi-talented, polyglot.
Everybody thinks I'm
was
Dominican.
like, what is happening?
That's no me neither.
I always ask this question, and I know your answer is like,
what's up?
Would you rather speak other languages in the world, which you already do, or have the ability to talk to animals? Right?
Languages for sure.
Languages for sure.
Language for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What good is it going to do for me to speak to animals?
Well, first of all, it's a unique talent. No one else has the ability to do that.
Eliza Thornberry does.
Eliza Thornberry does?
She did. She definitely did.
Dr. Doolittle
You know
does
what I'm saying? He
well.
did as well.
Yeah.
Solid movie.
But also, you could have a circus. I could, create a circus.
But then they're going to express pain.
No, this is an organic eco-friendly
PETA
circus.
certified.
Circus.
Okay.
I would be asking deer why they think it's okay to run in the middle of the fucking road when you see me trying to drive past. Like, do you not see my car?
You gonna speak deer? Is that what you're gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them why they do that.
Because
why would you do that? Get run over. Anyway, listen, we back. It's the year-end episode. I think it's been a very unique year, ups and downs, challenges,
to say the least.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
To say the least, but I think we've done what we needed to do. We've accomplished this year's mission and looking forward to next year. So thank you for joining us. Today we're going to talk about the cost and the gift of independence. The cost and the gift of independence.
That's a deep topic.
It is, because you're looking at our society today and we see a lot of people have strayed away from dating and being with people. People are just really focused on themselves. I think you have a big part of the population that's like hopeless romantics and don't know how to deal with it. And then you got the other part that's like, I'm a hopeless romantic, but I'm okay being by myself.
Right.
Okay.
And something to start off with, independence solved a lot of real problems, but like any powerful solution, it introduced new costs, not just for individuals, but for society.
Okay.
So today we're going to get into kind of like the pros and cons of independence, some of the things that, because I assume you are an independent woman.
I am.
And with that, I'm sure you've seen a lot of pros and cons. I'm sure you've seen a lot of good things come of that, but then you may have seen some potential downsides of being independent and the cost of that. So what are some of the things for you that independence actually fixed? Like, what do you think being independent has brought you in a positive way?
That's a great question. I like this question. Okay, some of the things that independence has fixed for me is it's helped me truly know myself. I think that society is incredibly noisy and there's so many expectations of being on all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think independence for me has meant truly getting to know myself in different scenarios. So for example, I haven't been in a relationship in years, right? I started a business. I put all my stuff in storage and traveled for a year as a digital nomad.
Okay.
And even traveling alone, like, really makes you learn yourself.
Tell me about it.
And so for me, one of the things that independence has taught me is I really like who I am. And every week I take myself on a date intentionally. I put my phone away, and whether I take myself to the orchestra or the movies or dinner, I think that it's made me notice things about myself, the good and the bad, but I really like myself. And I think that now I have such a deep understanding of who I am that I make more aligned decisions. And I'm way more intentional about my next steps.
That's solid. And I mean,
no, it is. Yeah.
Listen, I feel like, because I was single for like.
Do you think you need that time of, I guess, solitude or independence to truly, not to be cliche, find yourself?
Yeah.
Or could you do that with a partner?
I think that it's really helpful to do it without a partner. I think valid. Because it forces you to get uncomfortable, right? I think for you to really know yourself, you kind of need no distractions and to be selfish for a little bit. And I think to really know yourself, truly know yourself, you need to spend time in very uncomfortable, almost quiet situations where you hear your own thoughts and you question your thoughts. Is that what I want? Or is that society or this or that? And yes, I think you could do it within the context of a relationship. You're always discovering who you are. But you are also having to juggle that in smaller pieces because you have to take care of your relationship.
Yeah, you're not truly focusing on yourself.
And it's not fully selfish. So I think that having a fully selfish era is really beneficial.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the only way.
It is.
But I do think it's very helpful.
It is. It is.
Do you feel the same as well?
I mean, listen, so I was single for like 5 years.
Okay.
Good for you.
Until my most recent.
Same here. Me too.
Listen, and like my last relationship ended around this time in 2019. Actually, it was a couple of days ago, like 6 years ago that it ended.
He remembers.
So, yeah. Oh no, because it was like, woof. It was because you don't forget days like that. You don't forget when shit like that happens.
No.
But once she moved out and I was forced to be by myself, shit got ugly for a little bit. It got real ugly. Like,
it's sad.
When I'm talking about, you have to really sit there and feel your emotions. Like, you can call people, but at the end of the day, once you hang up that phone, you still have to face that.
Yes.
And then when I finally moved into my own apartment completely, because, one of my boys moved in with me and we, he got me through a lot of that. But then when I finally moved on my own, that's a whole nother level of just having to face your own shit. But to your point, you also start learning, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. You really start learning a lot of things about yourself that you wouldn't have paid attention to when you were in a relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, because you're forced to do that. You're forced to just be by yourself and learn who you are. You know, a relationship, you can't always do that. And I think you do need to go through this period of like just being by yourself to be ready for that next person.
Okay.
You know,
Do you think it's more of a trend nowadays for either me, you to say, you know what, I want to find myself and be on myself. So this relationship thing is not going to work. I'm going to go my separate ways. Do you think it's more of a trend, or is it more a necessary step in our evolution, you could say?
That's tough. I think it depends on the person, you know,
Okay.
because if you have that self-awareness to know, like, if you and I are to be in a relationship right now, I can't give you everything that a partner should be giving you. Then it's like, you know what it is. And I don't feel like it's a trend at that point. But then you get some people that are just afraid of commitment and afraid to branch out into something new. And so they rather just be alone because, well, I don't want to get my heart broken. I don't want this. I don't want to risk that, which I think a lot of people also go through as well. So it just really depends on the person and their preparedness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To be preparedness.
Yeah. So I guess same question throw back at you. Do you think it's a trend, or the reason why I'm asking this question is because I can see the trajectory that we're going as society, right? Where it's
talk about it.
I like my independence. You like your independence.
Yeah.
But we're independently growing apart in a way.
Hey.
Like, we're not fostering like a communal sense, societal sense. Like, there's a positive in me knowing myself.
Absolutely.
There's positive in you know yourself. But like, do we even know each other? Like, do I know you as you want to be like known? Do you know me as you want to be known? Because
come on now. Come on, bro.
I am like, no, just like, for example.
Yo, Q, let me tell you, Q. This is a deep man right here.
I could tell. We talked for the coffee shop for hours.
Yeah, because this came about because I was thinking the other day, I was like, all this, like, you know, independence talk, like, I'm me, like, you. There has to be a hidden cost. Society is, like, paying for it. And one of my analogies I brought up was, imagine, like, a single driver in the car, right? That's us independent people. Now imagine you carpooling, right? That's people together.
Yeah.
There'll be a time in the future where, because we're so independent, it will strain on the up-and-coming generations to be our caregivers, right? Because usually, like, caregivers, when people get older, are the family members or whatnot.
Yeah.
But if this idea of independence, I don't need you, like, to be with you. I don't have to be with you. And I'm growing by myself. There'll be a point where the strain would be almost too much to bear, I believe, for the next generation. I might be wrong though. But what is your take on that? Do you think the trajectory is all positive, or is there like a hidden consequence in this?
Yeah.
Independence.
I think that it's a beautiful thing what's happening, actually, because I think that we're shifting into something more healthy. And right now is the messy middle. I think that before, relationships like statistically were very imbalanced, right? And women stayed in really unhealthy situations because of finances.
Yep.
And because of lack of opportunities in society. And what's happening now is that women are way more educated, way more financially independent,
right,
and choosing not to be in partnership out of their own mental health. Right?
Come on.
And so I think that the shift of men and women choosing to find themselves, I think actually is out of good intentions.
Yeah.
Of where we are doing these things in relationships of slower to commit, exclusivity before a title, because we're so scared of divorce. We have more access to relationship information. I think that we saw a generation of families that were really dysfunctional.
Okay.
And I think that
Okay.
even parenting is shifting, relationships are shifting,
Right.
where relationships are now more equitable, where men and
Right.
women are sharing child rearing,
Right.
sharing responsibilities in the home. It's not just all on one or the other.
Right. Right.
I think this shift to independence is actually like, let me center myself and come from a healthier place. I think that the next generation is going to benefit greatly because of the inner work. Yes, it's really uncomfortable right now and we might fear the extreme, but I do think that us knowing ourselves can only be a good thing.
So you think it's a net positive
Yes.
in this shift towards more independence?
Yes, because I speak for myself and
Okay.
myself only, but me being independent for so long,
Right.
I am a way better partner that I could have ever been than 5 years ago.
Valid.
And I definitely will choose better now.
Absolutely.
And I will raise better children because my marriage will be better.
Because you've done the work on yourself and you come to the relationship a complete version of yourself rather than like incomplete version of yourself, right? Is there a difference between
Come on, yo, y'all spitting right now.
I'm just like, come on. Is there a difference between
man.
does how can I put this? So independence in your 20s versus your 30s. What's the difference, if any? I guess you want to allude to
go
that
first.
I mean, I'll jump in. So it's gonna look different for everybody, right? Because everybody's story is different.
Journey,
Everybody's on their own journey, you know. So what your 20s were, my 20s were totally different things. My 20s, I spent a lot of my 20s in relationships, and I mean from like 20 to 28, almost 29.
You could not live by yourself. You cannot be by yourself.
So when I lived abroad, even when I was living abroad, I was dating somebody while I was abroad, out there. You know what I'm saying? And so when my last relationship ended right before I turned 29, I'm like, look, I gotta stop. I really have to like be by myself for a little bit, because it's like going from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. I didn't have a sense of independence. I may have had like, you know, financial independence, things like that. I may have had a good job. I may have had, you know, a sense of self, but I feel like a lot of my sense of self was tied to somebody else in my 20s. And so my sense of independence wasn't what it is now in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? Now being 34, getting ready to go on 35, I'm in a relationship in which I'm like, okay, I am my own self and she is her own self. We are two complete people that come together to make two very complete people.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In my 20s, the idea was like, oh, well, I need this person to complete me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My 30s, the first few years, living by myself, working on me, doing taekwondo, piano, language learning, you know all the stuff that I do.
Yeah, of course.
All of that has contributed to a totally different sense of independence in my 30s that I never would have imagined in my 20s. Because I did the work, and like I'm finally with somebody where it's like, okay, she's done the work as well.
Right.
She spent mad time single. We both spent all of this time not apart, but like working on ourselves, dealing with whatever we needed to deal with. And then when we met, it was like, boom. So for you, when that time finally comes, it's not going to be all of this. Oh, well, what if, I don't know if it's not going to, that doesn't mean it's not going to be hardships, but it's going to be very, very smooth. Like it's just going to fall into place. Everything is going to fall into a place where it's like, you don't even really have to lift a finger. But yeah, 30s, definitely a lot more independence than I ever would have experienced in my 20s because of the work.
Yeah, as a woman,
your
your perspective is shorted after here. So
we need that.
When it comes to independence, like obviously, women are more equitable. Everything's like more fair nowadays, right? Like we make some amount more money. Like you guys are more educated. Actually,
y'all making more money.
You guys are
probably
more educated. There's less reason for women to seek out a man nowadays than there is for a man to seek out a woman, because you can do everything we can and more, right?
Come on, Q.
So does that give you a sense of passivity when it comes to choosing a man, or does it create a sense of almost involuntary detachment into wanting a relationship?
I think that I don't ascribe to this idea that like women don't need men. I think that it's very healthy. I mean, if you don't want one, that's okay too, you know,
So
but
you don't say that again, please repeat that.
One
I
more
know
time.
there's this idea that feminism has gone too far and that women don't need men, and that's what's kind of being projected is that women don't need men. But we want you. We want partnership. We yearn for it. We yearn for a family. We've always yearned for this. It just wasn't as easy to get what we're asking for. Somebody emotionally attuned, somebody who we can really trust, someone who can share some of the responsibilities and really hear us.
Right.
Right? I really want that. I wouldn't say it's passive detachment at all, especially in my group of women who are very educated and think very similar to me. We are just coming from a place now where we are really coming from I'm coming from a place where I value emotional intelligence and those inner qualities more than ever before.
Hello.
In my 20s, I was super codependent. I was with a man for almost 10 years.
Oh wow.
And I stayed because I didn't have finances to leave. It was ingrained in me ever since I was young. My mom stayed because of finances. So I internalized that. And when I told her how bad everything was, she told me to stay. And so now I look at it very differently. It's worse to be treated badly and be out of my self-respect than to stay for finances.
Say it again.
Right?
Say it again.
Please
Say it again.
repeat that, please. Run that back.
It's worse to be treated poorly, my mental health to be a wreck, me crying all the time, and to have some financial stability. Because what got wrecked when I had financial stability with a man is my self-esteem was wrecked. My body, I was anxious all the time. I was having panic attacks. That's worse.
Yeah.
So now
being by
I
yourself.
think when women finally get that sense of peace and realize like I can support myself and you know you can support yourself, you enter in a relationship where you're like, does this add peace to my life? Am I happy? I think we're coming from a place of like, is this a good long-term partner for me emotionally? We still want you, but we want a higher quality inner quality now
Yeah.
than it is
Yeah.
so much more in the past, more monetary.
I agree. I guess the trend, and I don't call it trend. I would say the way the world is shifting to more equal essence for both men and women is a driver for us men to become more intelligently aware and more emotionally intelligently aware. Because I feel like even me now in my 30s, I didn't think.
I can feel it.
Keep going.
Because in my 20s, I believed. I mean, sometimes you feel invisible in your 20s. I mean, we all felt that way.
Yeah, of course.
But then you get humbled by life.
Woo!
Right? Life humbles
Don't
you.
Shit. Boy, let me tell you.
And then that forces you to amend the things you need to in order to become a better partner for
Absolutely
the woman of your dreams. So I do agree. I feel like it's forcing our hands as men to become more emotionally in tune.
I absolutely agree.
Yo,
Yeah.
the crazy thing is, you literally hit every single thing that we were going to talk about. I just want to run through it
I am
real quick
intuitive.
because
Hey.
you spoke to every single one. Independence reduced coercion. People no longer stay together for survival.
Yeah.
Fewer obligation-based marriages.
Yes.
Cleaner consent and cleaner exits.
Yes.
Independence raised the floor. So as you were talking about, you want a man that's going to have these great qualities, that's going to show up for you, that's going to be emotionally intelligent, that's going to do the things that you require of him as a partner. Independence raised the floor. I feel the same way because when bro,
Absolutely.
when I
Independence raised the floor, not the ceiling.
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
My two rules became: if you do not have a passport and you do not go to therapy, there's nothing for us to talk about. Straight up.
For you.
For me, if you do not have a passport and you do not go to what are we talking about? Don't be telling me you want to travel and get back shots on a beautiful beach and you don't have a passport. How we getting there?
Bless.
How we getting there?
Bless.
Let me know. Am I tripping?
You have to manifest it.
You know what I'm saying? And it's been manifested. Independence created psychological stability. So now you're not having the panic attacks anymore. You're not dealing with the anxiety.
Absolutely.
You're glowing. You're at peace.
Yes.
You seem very peaceful. You seem like you enjoy what you got going on. You have your group of women that y'all are working on y'all, and y'all have y'all group, and you know y'all have y'all goals that you share with one another, and y'all are leveling up as a group.
Yes.
Me and Q, like Q and I, when we have conversations, it's like wow, it's so nice to meet another dude that
it's rich. It's
you
rich
know what
in
I'm
content.
saying. Like as you get older and you start to find that independence, you start to level up the people that are around you as well. It's not even just a personal thing. It's like you level up and leave this stuff behind, and you start to attract and meet other people that are on that same wavelength and that want the same things that you want. You know. Independence enabling mobility and innovation. Again, what you got, your own business. I don't even know half of the stuff you have, but I can tell that you got some things in the works.
I got my shit together.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're ready for what's coming next.
Yes.
My man Q, same thing. He, from the time I met Q, and I say this every episode, from the time that I met Q, and I was like, bro, once you cross that 30 mark, and Q has like complete 180 in the past year.
Yeah, I think for women as well. I mean, even more so for us.
It's so important.
Yeah, because you start confronting your own mortality.
Right.
Well, us and kids. So.
Well, yeah, biological as well.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And right here, independence forced self-confrontation. So.
Yes, but once you know thyself, you have to confront some ugly truths.
Talk about it. So not talk about it because come on now. Let me hear it.
So for me, in my 10-year relationship, it was very abusive, and I remember wanting to go on this 10-day silence retreat. It's called the 10-day Vipassana silence retreat at this Buddhist monastery. It's free, room and board. You eat vegan food and you meditate for like 8 to 10 hours a day.
Beautiful.
And I remember hearing about it. And I remember hearing my intuition and like my stomach dropped. And I was like, I can't go to that now because I'll hear the truth and I'm not ready. And I knew the truth was I needed to leave. And so now I'm about to go on that silence retreat 5 years later.
Wow.
And I've done so much inner work and confronted the ugliness of so many things, so many beautiful parts of myself, but so many uncomfortable things. And now, of course, the 10-day silence retreat is not going to be easy by no means, but I am now at a point inwardly that I'm ready to go on this 10-day silence retreat, right?
And you needed to go through that to get there.
Absolutely. And I think what's happening now is that when you do know yourself and you can say, hey, I've done my inner work. I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. You make choices more out of alignment. When you're moving so fast and you constantly have input and relationships and validation and all of this noise, right? We don't really hear ourselves at all, right?
Hey.
And so now when you are alone and you can really sit with yourself, you know what peace feels like. And you also know what dis-ease feels like.
Hey.
And I think that's why when you feel peace, you absolutely knew your partner felt good. You felt at peace because you guys flowed together.
Right.
But you also know when somebody didn't feel like peace because you were at peace with yourself. And I think that's why everything compounds in life. I think that in 10 years, right, conscious parenting, more language about emotions, we're rising as a society. Yes, it's really uncomfortable and all of these talks are happening, but I think that in the grand scheme of things, yes, you know, we stayed out of obligation oftentimes, but I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I think people are going to be hella intentional about who they date and who they marry and who they have kids with, because I think we have created a culture that is way more emotionally literate than in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, you I'll keep laughing because this is just so good.
It's
so good.
Stuff.
Nah, because okay, confronting your shit.
Yeah.
I had to look in the mirror quite a few times.
Yeah.
And just kind of recognize, like, yo, you fucking up.
Yeah.
You're fucking up.
Yep.
And it's so humbling, like you said. It's so humbling to really see the part that you play in something. Mm-hmm. And it's humbling to see where somebody may have said something and then that same trait may show up that somebody else mentions, like the same people mentioning the same things about. It's humbling as hell. It kind of makes you realize, like, oh damn, I
need to work on that.
I got some work to do. Should probably go to therapy.
For those, honestly, for those of us, for those people who struggle with the period of independence, like who lose themselves in, you could say, loneliness or depression. Yeah. What advice do you have for them to keep the course going? What kept you going in times of doubt? Because it's not all.
Oh, it's not
all
easy.
rosy. You say all this positivity, like
it ain't easy.
Well, like we know there's lonely days when it comes to this. We know there are days where you're like, "Why am I even doing this? Why am I like in this journey?" But what kept you on course?
That's a great question. I think the vision of who I wanted to become. I think really sitting down and being like, I want to become somebody who really makes decisions from an empowered place and really is at peace with herself. But I also think having people who don't make you feel so alone. I think that
important. Very important.
It's very important that yes, you're alone and you might not be dating, but that doesn't mean you're like in solitude and not doing anything.
Have a circle.
I think you need to have intentional chapters, right? Like my year of starting a business, I intentionally didn't date that year. I intentionally I'm going to focus on my business and my friends. You know, and I set the intention of I really want to grow deeper in my friendships and date my friends, right? Like how do I create a group of women that I am amazingly like inspired by and having that community? I wouldn't trade that group of girls for anything, right? And then a year of travel, right? And so I think that yes, you're alone and you're independent, but you're still like figuring out your hobbies, right? So I don't think, yes, you're sad and you're maybe sad in the sense of like, oh, I'm not in a relationship, I have shit to do. But I still think you can explore other parts of yourself. You are like a deep ocean, right? Like discovering yourself is amazing.
You never actually stop discovering yourself.
You don't. No, you don't.
So to kind of recap what you're alluding to is to have a group of friends or community, so you don't feel too alone on those lonely days or nights, and also have your why right here, your prefrontal cortex.
Your why? You gotta know what you want to become.
Yeah, your why, because whenever motivation like goes away, it's discipline. That keeps you going, right? Like, you know, I feel like the why is your discipline. Like I need to become this person. I want to become this person.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's thank you, because there's some days, I don't know about you, but there's some days I'm just by myself in my apartment, like, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, you know you can call the kid, bro.
Oh, brother, trust me.
You
like,
know, you call my phone, bro. You know I pull up.
Oh, that's so nice.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna call you at 3 a.m. Alonzo.
I'll call Q during some very tumultuous time.
Yeah. I am very happy hearing that.
So we, but you bring up a great point, because again, you are not in a relationship, but you still have this community of people that's rallying behind you. You need that. You need, like, whether it's family, friends, whoever it is, you need those people to lean on. Like, one of my best friends, I have called her bawling my fucking eyes out, and she has called me bawling her fucking eyes out. We have been through that together, and those are the type of people that you need in your circle that's going to understand, like, hey, I know you're going through this right now. Yo, let's go out. Let's go get wings. Let's go do something. You know, you need those friends that are going to have your back unconditionally.
Absolutely.
You know, it really helps with the growth and just, finding that independence and that peace. So, we're probably gonna. I think we're gonna shift gears a little bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to recap the positives.
Yes.
We've spoken
Run through it real
about
quick.
being independent, driven society nowadays, right? Positive is you get to know yourself.
Correct.
You get to show up a bit more intentional, a bit more complete to your relationship whenever you do find yourself. Goes out to your intentional chapters that you should have. Less bad relationships because you're not staying in bad relationships. And overall, just a more emotionally intelligent society as a whole because we've done the work on ourselves.
That's it.
Those are the positives, right? Obviously, there's more than that. There's other nuances. But not about the hidden cost.
The hidden cost.
The real reason why we're here. The cost of independence.
Hey, come on, Q. Because we had to let Q take this one. Because Q put this iPad down. Go ahead, Q.
There's a couple topics about cost of independence. Obviously, the aging domino. When it comes to independence, there are more single women
Yes.
and more single men
Absolutely.
than ever before.
Yes.
I also feel like there's more, we can say, like pseudo happy people, like nowadays, right? Like obviously when it comes to like women, you have a time biological clock, right? You can only be independent for so long, I believe, before you start thinking, depending on your goals, start thinking, okay, maybe I need to
Settle down.
not use the word settle down, but you
Okay.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Okay.
How do you feel about that as
Independent woman.
an independent woman?
How do I feel about
the like? I mean, yeah, the biological clock that plays into it, the aging effect.
I feel that it's a very real thing,
Okay.
especially
Okay.
in certain cultures, right? In my culture, for sure.
I'm knowing.
If you are not having babies, by 33, as I'm 33, it's like,
What are you
what
doing?
are you doing? But I will say this. I'll say that it's in the back of our minds. It's definitely in the back of my mind all the time. But I'll say this. For me, I will never have kids with the wrong person.
Huh? Say it again.
I'll never have kids with the wrong person.
Come on now.
Because I was a kid in that situation. And now I place such emphasis on peace in my home. Who I invite to my energetic space, my home is sacred.
Correct.
And I think when you grow up in a chaotic home, you deeply understand and yearn for a different situation. And yes, I want kids. I would be an amazing mom. But if the partner is not able to raise them and treat me well, first of all, and then raise my kids with integrity, I would not want to be in that situation because that would cause me suffering. And if I'm in misalignment, then I'm going to have anxiety, right?
Okay.
And so for me, I will have kids when I feel this is a healthy individual. If I can't have kids and I find a healthy individual at 37, 38, and I can't have kids, I'll adopt, I'll foster, or freeze my eggs. There's options.
Right.
The hidden cost of that, yes, I have had to take 5 years off from relationships, right? But I've noticed that I call in better men. I have left things the moment my intuition said no, and immediately got proven I made the right choice. And so I trust my body way more as a woman.
Yeah.
I immediately can say like, oh, this is not a good long-term situation for me to be in. I need to exit now. I feel so confident that I will make the right choice. So yes, there's the cost. You have to be very patient and not settle. But I do think for kids growing up, I think it's better for us, for the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to
for us to wait.
Okay. To wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any comments on that one specifically?
The cost
of the aging, the aging aspect of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, in my relationship, the conversation of kids has come up, right?
Okay. I think you speak on this as well.
When I was younger, it was always like, oh, I want kids, I want kids, I want kids. But then being in this relationship, I don't want to say it shifted, but it's really made me question my motivations for why do I want kids? Is it because I see everybody around me having kids? Is it because I think that's what I'm supposed to do societally? Like, what is the reason that I want to have kids, you know? And we ended up getting to a point where it's like, you know, if that's something that we decide to do, then that's what we'll do.
Okay.
You know, because my girl's a little bit older than me. You know, and you know, that's the first question that people ask. Oh, when are you guys gonna have kids? And and it's just like, let's pause. Let's, you know, we're focused on being happy right now. But I do think that there is a bit of a cost in terms of, you know, if you wait too long, you may not be able to have kids. But to your point, there's ways around it. I think the cost is more directed towards women than men because we can have kids at whatever time. But then it's also like...
Not at whatever time. I think we have until like 75 for the sperm quality to go down. So, but continue.
He just said that.
I'm not even going to get into that one, but I think...
But I do think that cost... I will say, though, the cost is mainly for women, like you said, because... And that's why I think my point is very important, because when... women cannot marry the wrong man.
You can't.
You cannot.
You can't.
And when you marry the wrong man, the relational gap is real, right? Men thrive financially, spiritually, in every way possible, health-wise, when they're married. But when women are married, everything goes down. Everything, finances, emotions, everything goes down because we give and give and give. And that's what's happening now is women are advocating for themselves, but we're advocating for equity.
Right.
We're advocating for, hey, why do I have to work 9 to 5 and do all the housework? Majority of the housework, all are unpaid labor.
Right.
And so for me, I'm saying, yes, the cost is I may not be able to have kids naturally, but the cost is even greater if I have kids with the wrong man.
Yo, let me tell you. Ooh. I am so grateful that I did not have a kid with my ex, yo. Because
aren't we all blessed?
Yes. Oh my God. Oh God.
I just know how I know how like we were younger and like I just know how tumultuous it was. It just I can't emphasize on that anymore. Like you have to be, and men too, we have to be very selective with who we're with, because if you're with the wrong person, like you say, your body, your intuition, everything is gonna tell you to get the fuck out.
Your body tells you the truth.
Listen, when you have that pit in your stomach, when you think about a future with this person, you know your ass need to leave. Immediately, you need to go. Yeah. You know, but
we don't listen, do we?
We don't.
Not right away.
Listen, that's happening to me. But being by yourself is what gets you through that. And when you see that situation come up again, it's like, all right, cool. You know,
I learned.
Red flag, bye. Nope. Quit.
But that's what I'm saying now is that in the past, I didn't listen to my intuition and I overrode my body. And in those terrible situations, my health was terrible. My job was terrible. My friends, I would gain weight. I wouldn't sleep. My skin was terrible. And my body was screaming to me, it's working perfectly fine, right? My body was telling me, hey, you deserve peace. Get out. Right? Now, because I've been alone and I know nobody's making me cry, no one's stressing me out, I do understand peace. And now I am so much more aware of how when I do go out on dates, they're way more intentional. And I can pick up on those signals way more clear because I don't have distractions.
Right.
And I can exit quicker and make better decisions. And I think for me, that is just a plus for me.
Absolutely.
It's a blessing.
different level of
So
peace.
we spoke about one of the unintended consequences of being independent. Another one, I believe, it's not spoken about as much as it should be. It's the pharmacy.
It's the what?
Pharmaceutical
Pharmaceutical.
pharmaceutical aspect of it all.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
pills.
pills.
Oh,
Okay.
Are
yeah.
is SSRIs replacing community? Is sleep meds replacing safety?
oh, I get what you mean.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So obviously, maybe you weren't prescribed what do you call it, antidepressants, but I feel like I know people, even myself, that have had to get prescribed antidepressants to overcome certain like thought patterns, right?
Yeah.
Does I don't call it over independence become a negative aspect for your health in terms of I'm just gonna be alone. I don't want to be outside. I'm gonna like take this, sleep medicine and go to sleep, or take this SSRI and block all these negative thoughts out of my head. Are we medicating, our communal time away in a sense?
It can.
It can be.
When I had that big breakup, I was taking NyQuil like probably every night for a few weeks
Just
to try and sleep
just try to
because
sleep.
it was just that
Deep.
painful,
Yeah.
you know. I don't recommend it, obviously, but yeah, it can. I think when you are so codependent and so stuck in a pattern and don't know how to be alone, and this is why it's so important to be by yourself for a while so you can really learn how to work through those things, have those tough nights where you kind of just cry it out and go to sleep. When you don't have that, substance abuse can happen. You can take sleeping pills, and I mean, antidepressants are meant to help you, but sometimes people may end up abusing those because the pain is just that
Yeah, I'm more
powerful,
asking of. So we become attached or addicted to the idea of being by ourselves,
Oh, I get what you mean.
right? That's what I'm more like alluding to. Like, I love myself so much. I'm working on myself so much that I am replacing time I would spend with my friends with drugs to make me feel the same effect of hanging out with my friends. Like, does that make sense? Or to numb
So like
the feeling.
you spending all this time by yourself to kind of
I'll give you a personal example from my
yeah.
perspective. I am a homebody,
Uh-huh.
right? Sometimes I have to go out because I need to step out.
Yeah. Valid.
But sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna like spark something up and just chill out, right? I'm just talking as like,
Ain't a bad thing.
I'm being candid here,
It's not
right?
a bad thing. Smoke a little weed. I mean,
If that be pills, whatever you want to call it, like whatever vice you're using, is that replacing like time spent with friends because we rather be independent? Is what I'm trying to say. Like,
I don't think that's necessarily unless you like really have an issue with substance
Yeah, I would
abuse.
agree.
you don't think it's an issue with?
No.
It's just
No, I
a
think it's, if anything is a drawback, it's society, right? We're so disconnected in other ways. I don't think it's drugs. I think it's time on our phone. It's, performing for Instagram.
What else? Come on.
It's truly and honestly the way society is set up, and that's why things are, starting to trend in a different way, where it's like, oh, dinner parties are now the cool thing. Put your phone away. Or, we're going to this new club, they take your phones, and we're excited by that.
Absolutely.
And the whole be mysterious now is cool on Instagram. I think we have actually had enough of everybody constantly not being fully present. I think that if anything is a drawback to independence, I think it's just constantly being able to distract ourselves, right? Like, if I want to stay at home all weekend, what am I going to do? I'm going to be on my phone and I'm going to watch Netflix, right?
Right.
I think if you don't try to be intentional of like, I'm gonna be intentional about spending time with my friends instead of asking ChatGPT therapy. I should probably call a friend. You know? No, really. I'm serious because I do it all the time.
Guilty as charged.
I really
and I'm
do.
looking at you. If you're not guilty as charged, you're lying.
You are lying. You are lying to me. You're lying to my face.
Exactly.
Hey, you're lying, oh.
Yes.
You're lying.
The real drawback to independence
that
is technology. Because I can feed technology to
Okay.
distract myself on Instagram, Netflix, and ChatGPT.
That's medication right there. It's this the cellular device. That's the medication.
Yeah, because now I don't call a friend. I just ask ChatGPT, and I talk to ChatGPT all day instead of when I would call my best friend and talk to her for 2 hours.
That's real. That's real. I mean, you brought up a good point about people being excited to put their phones away, like going to a dinner party, put your phone away. Yes. Going to the club, they take your phone. And like, as great as technology is, we talk about this all the time. We've become entirely too fucking reliant on it.
100%.
You know? And again, being independent and learning how to be by yourself is the best medicine, because it's like when you have all of these distractions, you can't, like, you're never gonna be able to get to the point that you want to be to.
Yeah.
If you're constantly distracting yourself, you gotta allow yourself to feel and just.
I agree.
Put it away for a minute.
There's something called the DMF. Oh, sorry, DMN. Default mode network.
Okay.
Like how your brain thinks. And it only goes online, let's say, in about 15 minutes into you being bored. Like truly bored. Like everything away. Then your thoughts.
Oh, 100%.
Starts germinating.
Yes, because before, when I'm planning for this 10-day Vipassana retreat, right? And so I put on the calendar on Sundays, I have no phone and no TV. And I will tell you, just I have things to do at home. I do my laundry, I mop, I cook mindfully, I'm driving mindfully. It feels like you're on a high the first few Sundays that I did it.
Right.
But then boredom kicks in. And I remember sitting in my rocking chair, like the old lady I am on my patio, and feeling absolute boredom. And I was like organizing the most random things I could organize because I didn't know what to do with my time. I was looking at the birds. I was looking at leaves. I literally, it was good. It felt like my mind was purging itself.
Yeah.
But I will say that I would say that I've spent more alone time than the average human being. And even for me, it was incredibly difficult just to do Sundays without stimulation, but I had things to do.
Right.
I can't imagine going for 10 days on this retreat and I don't have laundry. I don't have to cook. I don't have to do anything. I just have to sit with my own thoughts for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Can I real quick?
You will find yourself.
I will find the core.
Let me tell you, in high school, I went to Catholic high school, right?
Same.
Bless.
So in junior year, we had this retreat called Kairos.
Okay.
And there was like this big mansion in Long Island that they took us to. And when we got there, they took our phones and they said that we were on God's time for 4 days.
Okay.
And we didn't know what time it was, obviously, because we didn't have our phones. But it's just like, there'll be different activities where it's like you're going with different people from your class. So they're breaking you off into different groups and you have different teachers there and then they're telling their stories. And it's just like I don't really know how to explain it. It was just like a very peaceful retreat. They would serve us dinner every night. They serve us breakfast. And it was just like a big sense of community. And on the 4th day of the retreat, they send you to your rooms and then they give you this big envelope. And in the envelope is just a bunch of letters from your family members, your mom, dad, friends that you went to school with, and everybody just writing you words of affirmation and just telling you how much they care about you. When I tell you that retreat was the most peaceful shit I've ever experienced in my life, because before I went, I'm like, nah, I don't want to give up my phone. And I'm like 16, 17 when this happened. But it was the most peace. I've never experienced peace like that. So I think when you go on this retreat,
I'm excited.
Whew, man. And I still think about that. And that was like half my life ago.
Yeah,
You
that's,
know, it was
Yeah.
such a beautiful experience.
I agree with. We need to be intentionally more bored
Yeah.
than we
Agreed.
are, and I tried my best to do that on a daily basis, just involuntary, just be there in my
I'll be
house,
playing
just
bass or
bored,
piano. I'll just be
stare at the ceiling.
I agree, but think about, we grew up, right, with, 90s TV. We grew up playing outside. We
Sure
didn't grow
did.
up with the internet. We didn't grow up with social media.
These
We've
kids.
come from a generation of we're tapped out. This is too much. This might be unhealthy. It's really affecting us,
Absolutely.
right?
It is.
But
for
as a
sure.
former teacher, right, I remember my students growing up with the iPads their whole life. And now we have kids who grow up with social media and technology, and now we have kids who are growing up with ChatGPT. I can't imagine
Yeah,
what this generation is
they probably
gonna
can't imagine that we
face.
grew up without a phone,
Without a phone.
right? That's how they
I
think.
miss those days, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
It was a beautiful
It
time.
was.
We'll never get it
back,
the
man.
best of times.
It was the worst of times.
It was the worst of times.
Hey
But
Arnold
it
right
was.
there.
It
That's
was
a Hey
the
Arnold
best of
quote right
times.
there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
To continue, I have one more question about the unintended consequences of being a hyper-independent society.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about like aging. I brought up pharmaceuticals. You guys shut that down, which is okay.
Don't look at me. I just pivoted.
The last one I feel like we don't speak enough often.
Damn.
We kind of like touched about a little bit is the population or the lack thereof as we age and we don't have children, right?
Ooh.
That's a great one.
So, is it a positive or is it a negative that we have decrease in the replacement of our population? Would that have more tasking? Would there more tasking on our workforce, on our caregivers, like our nurses or doctors? Because now it's instead of like one nurse to like 5 patients, it's one nurse to 10 patients, right? Because nurses are being replaced as fast as they should. So do you think that's another consequence of being too hyper independent as a society?
I never thought about it that way. I think that robots are gonna, be the ones taking care of us.
AI got the problem.
But I really do. I think
you're probably correct, honestly.
I think robots, but I say this as well. I think robots, make a lot of advancements with taking care of the elderly population, probably us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that makes human connection even more valued.
Talk about.
And the reason why I say that is because as a brand strategist, I work with businesses all the time who are asking about AI and the output that AI can generate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now AI videos look so real, and it's really scary to brands.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I really believe that there's no replacement for human connection, right? I need to be able to know, like, and trust you in order to really buy from you, right?
Valid.
And so I think that, yes, AI is going to have its moment, but I think we're going to be so sick of AI and so sick of everything fast, that I think, again, it'll swing back again and be like, I want to follow someone. I yearn for slowness. I yearn for craftedness. And so to your point about aging, yes, I could get the AI, but I think that we'll value human touch even more. So maybe, and I could be very wrong, but maybe the masses get AI robot technology. But if you're really wealthy, you get a human to take care of you, right? Because that's more expensive.
Damn.
Because I have to train them. But robots are so cheap and programmable, right? And so I think we're going to end up valuing human connection even more in the future.
Dystopian society coming.
I think there's a lot of unintended consequences with AI than we ever imagined, and it's only been here a few years.
I will say
for independence. It's made us very independent.
We laugh because you said pendulum, which is what Q and I talk about all the time.
Really?
Like it's like it always
swings
back.
swings.
You know, I mean,
It's yin and yang.
you know, and for me, knowing all these languages, like I use AI to help me with my languages, but then it's like at the end of the day, AI is never going to replace having a teacher that knows the language, that grew up speaking it.
Yeah, human connection.
Correcting me. That human connection is so key. That there's nothing that's ever going to replace that.
Never.
You know,
we're wired from bonding. So
yeah, I think to Ari's point, the more that the population decreases, the more we are going to value human touch and just connection and just being able to, because it's.
I believe you, but I
was advocate.
No. I'm about to bring up a good point here. So this hyper-independence has further consequences when it comes to, i.e., like immigration, right? Because like I'm not taking political stance. I'm just saying, because population is decreasing, and we need to replace. Where do we get people from? Guess what continents are actually increasing population? That's Asians and Africans. Right?
People.
The Western world, because of our education, highly dependent, we're sacrificing the population in that. So there'll be a future where, I'm not saying the future is Asian or black, but it's more leaning towards that than it is.
Yeah, because think about what Trevor Noah said. I think Trevor Noah famously said, like, you know, African society is very communal, right? And they're supposedly undeveloped. But we, as a society in the United States, we have to drive everywhere. Everything is very separate and but we yearn for that community part. We yearn for the community garden. Now they're just starting to build suburbs with the garden in the center and everyone around.
Yeah, like the 15-minute city.
The 15-minute city, right? When I was a digital nomad, I lived in Colombia and Oaxaca, Mexico. And one thing I took away was that they were happier than me because they had all of their friends, all of their family dancing on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
There was no dominoes. There was no clubs. Everyone was just hanging out with their family. And they're in this poor city, right?
Third world country,
yes.
if you will.
But did they have a better quality of life? Yes, they weren't go. When I worked there, I felt so at ease. I didn't feel this American guilt of working all the time as an entrepreneur. When I came back, immediately I went back to my old habits of working all the time. And so we do that, right? We make everything better and then we go and move because we realize, oh wow, we grew up in a village. We do need the community. And then we move abroad and then we disrupt their ecosystem because we have more money and it's just like this whole thing.
I will say, when I go to Mexico with my girl, we getting ready to go to Brazil next month. But like Latin America, when you go to Mexico, you go to the taqueria, pick up a taco, whatever you do. People are literally sitting there on the street just talking, eating their tacos, community. Like you don't see that here. And it's just sad to see how
maybe we need to foster that.
We do, which is why we have the Therapy Daddy podcast.
Of course. And like, you know, kind of widening down here. So
yeah,
it's getting to that point.
It is.
But we have something to talk about first. Though. It's a question.
Run through it real quick, bro.
At what point does independence stop being freedom and starts becoming a collective liability? You can sit on that. You don't have to answer it. Independence gave us freedom. Civilization, as always, requires something a bit more difficult. Responsibility towards each other. Right.
Come on.
I don't think we understand what that is yet, but this is the conversation that drives that. The responsibility towards each other.
I think the fact that we're having more women come on is showing that we understand the responsibility towards each other, because it's not just about us as men.
It's not about us.
It's just it's group things, society.
And I do believe, I said this earlier to her, like, women are the superior species. They have a higher pain tolerance, right?
What else?
They're the giver of life or birth of life, 9 months, right? Without a woman, that's not a man, like the chicken before the egg situation.
Right.
And overall, they're just more intelligent. And I believe it's time we men start, I guess, submitting in a way or showing actual respect for
absolutely
our women counterparts, because they are our mothers their wives or sisters,
wives, all of that. Yeah.
So I'm doing my part in fostering that conversation and trying to be that person.
I'm tired of you.
But but yeah. So that's that's the idea for me for now. But
It's been real. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you for
Let them know
having
one
me.
more time where they can find you.
Oh, AriRoseDesigns.com.
AriRoseDesigns.com.
how do you spell it?
ARI
Okay.
Rose ROSE Designs DESIGNS.com.
.com.
Spelling bee down.
Ari Rose. I was spelling bee in the spelling bee as a kid. It was really nice.
Wait. Before we close, it's the end of 2025.
It is.
Right. I think I asked John this. I asked Naomi this. If you can give one advice going to 2026 for either be a stranger or someone you know, what would that be?
Okay. I'm going to answer it the same way as the coffee shop. I would say that the best advice, whether it's 2025 or 2035, I think it's to listen to your body. And the reason why I say that is because there's this book called The Way of Integrity by Martha Beck, and it's my favorite book, and I reread it all the time. But she basically compares your body to a plane. So, of course, you want your body to be you want the plane to be in structural integrity, in wholeness, to get you from point A to point B safely, right? On a direct path. And when a plane has a warning light, right, you're going to check that out. The plane is trying to tell you, hey, something might be wrong. Right. And your body works much the same way. We were speaking earlier about anxiety and dis-ease, and your emotions will tell you when something is not good for you anymore. I think that whether you're younger or older, your body will tell you, because your body wants you to be at peace. It wants you to survive and thrive.
Absolutely.
And your body is working perfectly fine when you have anxiety, when you're having panic attacks, because it is responding to something that's saying, this is dangerous. You don't belong here. And I think that we put so much shame on, like, well, I have anxiety. Well, go deeper than that. Why do you have anxiety, right? And I think that when you get to the point of listening to your body and really taking the time to hear it, you realize that, like, you may have not told the truth to yourself. And when you don't tell the truth to yourself, you lie to other people by nature. And if you're lying to yourself or other people, you're automatically out of integrity. You're out of alignment, and you create a split within yourself.
Right.
And you can't get from where you want to go in life. If I want a husband and a kids and happy family, but I'm with this partner who's causing me panic attacks and making me cry and stress all the time, I can't get to where I really want to go, right? And so I think that it's really important, if any advice, is to listen to yourself and tell the truth. And if you tell the truth to yourself, it's going to be really hard to tell situations you don't belong in them anymore, but you will have a more peaceful life if you tell the truth to yourself.
Valid.
Wow.
That's my advice.
That's a bar.
C'est fini.
That's a bar. C'est fini.
C'est fini.
On n'est pas venu à la fin, donc on va fermer dans ce moment. Join us in the closing. We throw up the X's. We say XOXO.
XOXO.
Therapy Daddy.
Therapy Daddy.
Therapy Daddy.
Thank you.